Hey, everybody. Today is June 22nd, 2026, and you're listening to the While We Still Can podcast. Welcome back. I'm here. I'm Lisa. Tina's here. Tony's here. You guys know Tony. He's our internet sleuth BFF, whose digits and info, well, maybe not digits, you can find in the show notes. Please don't
He's
show
been
up at his
pissing the
house.
president off. Yeah, it's been a lot.
It's a hobby of his. So we're here for a catch up. We haven't talked in a few days because, as you guys know, this is kind of a side quest of ours, and our lives were in the way, unfortunately, for the pod. But anyway, we're back in your ears and ready to catch up. There's a lot going on. You know, there's the usual stuff like the reflecting pond's a mess, full of algae, and now the deranged president is trying to accuse people of vandalizing it when he's the one that gave somebody a no-bid contract and that ruined it, essentially. There's people
14,
like
$14 million.
projecting.
$14 million.
So where's Mitch McConnell?
Mitch McConnell's missing, probably in a stroke ward someplace, hypothetically, for entertainment purposes. People are being menaces in the best way, like projecting images onto buildings in Washington, D.C., like Stephen Miller upside down like a vampire bat, stuff like that, which is just lovely. Breaking no laws, being a menace. What else is going on, guys?
Well, Tony's been off.
I don't even know where to start. Yeah, it's the usual. You know, I had recently disassociated myself from the Epstein Wiki group for various reasons that we won't go into right now, but at some point in the future. And it was almost like a freeing experience, to be honest with you. I wasn't having to look at literal dozens, if not hundreds, of messages that I had missed because I live a normal life and I can't just sit on the computer all day. So I started doing what I do best, which is I started digging a little bit. I decided to go back into the Epstein files and dig and see what else I could kind of come up with. And it was shocking to me. And the things that I did find, the first thing I found was the fact that Jeffrey Epstein was at Trump Tower 5 days after the 2016 election.
Okay, let me repeat that so I can wrap my brain around it. Jeffrey Epstein was at Trump Tower 5 days after the which election?
2016.
2016 election. So after all the Podesta emails and grab them by the pee, all that had been in the news.
Well, it's funny you say that. I actually found some stuff regarding that as well.
Do tell.
So Epstein was at Trump Tower 5 days after the election. There are other emails that suggest that he was there to talk about a possible cabinet position. I mean,
Jeffrey Epstein is a cabinet member?
This is not me making anything up.
My God.
Emails in the files that show that this is likely what was occurring. But I think it's just important enough to people understand that Jeffrey Epstein was at Trump Tower 5 days after the election. And, I've had the normal trolls and whatever online come after me and say, oh, well, that doesn't mean he met Donald Trump.
Come on, man.
And so then you were talking about the grab him by the P tape, and that all happened on October 7th, 2016. Okay? I'm just going to throw out there on October 4th is when Charles McGonigal was appointed as special agent in charge of Russian counterintelligence in the FBI New York field office. But I'll digress from that because that's just something everybody should know in the future. But on October 7th was when the Access Hollywood tape dropped of Billy Bush, the show I've been on, now his podcast I've been on, dropped the tape of Donald Trump talking about when you're a celebrity, you can do these things. The interesting thing is I had found also an email of a settlement that Jeffrey Epstein was talking to Michael Wolff about that occurred in 1997. And this was from an incident that occurred in 1993 at Mar-a-Lago, where Trump was in Mar-a-Lago with a man and woman who were married, and I think one other person at least was with them, and they were giving them a tour of Mar-a-Lago. And while The husband and the other person that was with them were in the next room during this tour, quote unquote. Donald Trump assaulted the wife of the man who was in the next room. He literally moved on her like a bitch and tried to grab her by the pussy.
And that's what she has come forward alleging that. Is that actually?
Well, and the thing was, they settled the case in 1997, and he paid them off. And a lot of people pointed out to me, well, this was in the news, just not enough people paid attention to it, yada yada. And that's part of the whole naysayer stuff, is pretend it's old news. I've seen it 100 times. Most spectacular breaking news there is. They'll act like, oh, everybody knew that, to try to.
And you didn't do anything? You didn't care? That's weird.
But there's more, because the room that this assault occurred in at Mar-a-Lago in 1993 was then 12-year-old Ivanka Trump's bedroom.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So now, okay, we already know that Epstein was at Trump Tower 5 days after the election in 2016. We also now know that Epstein was talking with Michael Wolff, the author, who has never released this information himself, and continues to monetize and play the system in a way.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean,
they were besties according to those emails that are in the files. Like he was not anti-Epstein. Okay.
So he was telling Jeffrey Epstein about this assault that occurred at Mar-a-Lago in Ivanka Trump's bedroom, which is...
So in the emails, Michael Wolff was telling Epstein about that accusation?
No, it was Epstein telling Michael Wolff about the lawsuit that happened, and he was giving more context in terms of it happened in Ivanka's bedroom, which I don't have ever been reported. That's the second sensational thing that I had found.
Little nugget.
In a nugget. So then and this one I hadn't even really invested a lot in. I just happened to be looking at emails, and I did a search, and I forget what the search was, Podesta. I think it was Podesta. And all of a sudden, October 8th emails came up from Jeffrey Epstein at 1:20, starting at 1:24 in the morning, wherever he was at the time, and lasting for about 30 minutes. He forwarded emails successively every couple minutes, and I show a list of them on my Twitter feed, to a number of very well-known high-profile people. And the email he was forwarding was a link to the Podesta emails, because that was the counter to the Access Hollywood tape that had dropped at 4 o'clock that afternoon. And it was 4:32 that afternoon, 32 minutes after the Access Hollywood tape dropped, that the Podesta emails dropped from WikiLeaks. And then Epstein was forwarding that link to several people, including Peter Thiel, within hours of this drop. So it appears to most people that can look at it logically, there was a coordinated effort of information that was prepared and ready to be dropped and released when they needed a significant distraction from the ills of Donald Trump.
For whatever that may have been at the time, but it happened to be the P-tape email, the Billy Bush interview.
Yeah.
But it could have been, who knows what the...
It could have been something else completely, and they just pulled the trigger and said, okay, this is the coordinated effort. We're setting the alarm and sending everybody their beeper's going off.
In retrospect, that's no surprise at all.
Not at all.
Well, we know that, didn't it just leak? Ashley St. Clair came out and just said that they all have a freaking Signal chat, and they're like, okay, here's the propaganda for today. Everybody have matching Twitter posts at 4:32.
Hey, but who doesn't have a Signal chat these days, girls?
Okay, we don't have, I'll share your work, but we don't have coordinated posts, okay?
Yes, okay, I know. So
we can acknowledge there was a coordinated effort there.
Absolutely.
So we have mainstream media doing coordinated propaganda, because we know only like 4 people own all the news stations, and then you see it filtered all down to the local news stations, like you have to report on this, and then we're seeing it happen. They have the social media arm covered through the propaganda of all of these figureheads that have Signal chats apparently. I wonder if Pete Hegseth is in it. Or I wonder if he got kicked out of all of Signal chats. They're like, bro, you are not allowed anymore.
He's a liability now.
Yeah, who's not a liability in the Trump administration. So so that was, so basically the whole point of it was I once I was able to disassociate myself and actually kind of have a cleansing moment within a couple of days of all that drama that went down, and that relates back to partially Victoria Drake. And I made it clear online that in this whole saga, in these last few months, the majority of drama that has occurred has been specifically related to Victoria Drake's actions, much of which isn't in the public yet. And
most things are compromised. Just expect that everything you're writing is in a data center that is using all your water in your backyard.
Absolutely. And I just read something about you can make $22,000 a year if you put a mini data center on that empty space in your backyard. So anyway, I just saw an ad for something like that. So anyway, I'm still unsure what Victoria's motives are, and I have questions about what those truly are in terms of her intentionally creating some of this chaos.
I mean, and I'm speaking in hypotheticals here because I don't know this person at all, but unless you have a deep desire for attention in whatever form you can get it, so much of this makes no sense.
Well, and I have a slightly different theory than that. It's almost as if she's she's trying to scare Amanda. The reason I say that is because this isn't the first time, and Amanda has told me since this happened. I talked to Amanda the last couple of days, and I have a voicemail from her, and again, I'm just being transparent, and Amanda trusts me, so I'm not worried about what I share. We've got too many bigger fish to fry, but, Victoria was calling her all night that night, trying to contact her. So Victoria was contacting Amanda, trying to draw her into whatever circumstances were happening, and I laugh about all this because it seems so sensational, but I'm smack dab in the middle of all of this. Because the other thing, and I'm going to say it right now, and I've said it before, I'm going to put it all out there because I don't give a shit and I don't have any reason to lie. About a month ago, Amanda texted me and she's like, hey, Victoria says she's coming to Rio. And I'm like, what? Why
Rio de Janeiro?
Rio de Janeiro. That's where Amanda lives. Amanda lives in her house in Rio de Janeiro on the beach. And Victoria just said, hey, I'm heading your way. And she even sent Amanda a picture of her tickets to Florida, which made it look like, hey, that was her stop, and then she was going to head to Rio.
That's an hour of your life you'll never get back, Tony. So what's the deal with Cory Booker? Tina, did you have something different you wanted to talk about?
Well, I had a couple more questions about some of those emails that you found in there. But if we want to pivot off from Epstein...
No, let's pivot back to the emails.
Okay. I want to pivot back to the one about the plane from Qatar, however we say it. And Fergie, tell me about that email.
So I found an email, and this was in the first... This was not... So I posted this months ago before the big email dump. And... this was actually Jeffrey Epstein in an email to basically Qatar. I'll just say Qatar. Yeah. And basically trying to convince them to rethink whether or not they were going to buy a plane that he had for sale. And he was actually even providing pilots for the plane. He gave actual little bios of a bunch of pilots. So he was actually trying to get Qatar to buy a plane from him, a 747. And it turns out in the email he was basically trying to get them not to buy the 747 that they were buying. And this was in 2012, and the 747 they were buying in 2012 happens to be the one that us, as the American people, just spent $1 billion on refitting for Donald Trump because it was a gift to him.
It's almost comical how Jeffrey Epstein shows up in every storyline.
Yes.
Well, and then I was reading the email about him talking about I don't remember who, if he was emailing Steve Bannon or whatever, asking what role he could play in Congress. And then the one about with Bill Gates, the one he just sent to Bill Gates saying we're going to the island and with a bunch of the people from the administration or something.
Yeah.
Is that what it said?
Yeah, there's so many out there. Well, and I think part of the problem too is helping people. The problem with this war right now is not the lack of information; it's the exact opposite.
You don't mean the Iran war. You mean the war against
The information war that we're
the
in. The World War.
disinformation war.
Yes, is
Okay.
not the lack of information, it's the fact that there's too much information out there and people
Right.
are not in a state of mind to disseminate what's true and what's not, and they're more likely to gravitate towards the things that are most comfortable to what they believe.
Right. Right.
And it doesn't even, I'm not even talking about MAGA, the 30% that still supports Trump. I'm talking about all the people in between that just don't want to pay attention. So they're going to turn off the things that they don't want to, and they're going to swipe up or down or sideways to see the things that catch their attention and make them more comfortable in their life at that moment.
Well, they don't follow me, that's for sure.
And Fergie, one of the emails I found too was Fergie in 2011, in May of 2011, Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, was going to be on Oprah, and she emailed Jeffrey Epstein and said, "Hey, I know Oprah's going to ask me about you. What do you want me to say?" And then I also shared the actual reply from Jeffrey Epstein, which was the specific statement
Ooh, what did he say?
It was basically a generic statement about him having been arrested for soliciting prostitution from a minor and basically moving on after a quick statement. So,
Yeah, just
I don't have it in front of
move
me.
on from that. Good luck. But I guess, I don't know how Oprah falls into all this.
Oprah, oh, don't go down the Oprah hole. Oh, I shouldn't say that either. You get a prize. No, I think, I mean, from what I've read about Oprah, it's not good.
Well, I found.
But maybe I'd feel different if I would have gotten to get a prize, but maybe
Well,
not.
here's a rabbit hole I'll suggest everybody goes down just for the fun of it. Is type into your browser Cipriani's Halloween parties.
Okay.
It'll come up and it'll show you a number of different years where Cipriani's in New York hosted big Halloween costume parties, and you'll be shocked at the people. I mean, Diddy was there pretty often. I found one picture that I haven't yet posted, and I need to go back and find it again. It's online versus the screenshot I took, and it's literally a big open room with mattresses on the floor.
Oh my God.
There's a bunch of people all over, and there's even in front and center, there's a man laying on the mattress with the woman sitting on top of him.
Is that like quote unquote upstairs at Cipriani's or whatever?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. And there's emails that somebody says, forget who it was, might have been Fergie, actually, about
I read some Cipriani's
how do I get
emails.
upstairs.
So speaking of like the entertainment industry, whatever, Diddy, Clive Davis just died today. And as you guys and everybody at home probably has heard of Clive Davis, like major name in the recording industry, and I feel like there's some folks that think he might have been like a mastermind behind the things that were going on in LA, and like the dude was 94 years old. And when I first think of Clive Davis, I think of like Whitney Houston and what happened to her. And if you guys haven't seen the movie about Whitney Houston, what's it called? It just came out like a year ago. It's a really sad movie that basically saying that Whitney was like closeted, and her death was sketch. Let's just put it that way.
Well, there's
Like everyone else in Hollywood that dies at a decently young age. Not 94.
Not 94. But Clive Davis was a known gay man, right? I mean, like, that wasn't
Well,
secret.
I'll tell you, I have seen multiple posts today online from women that I don't know, famous people and people that are like, my NDA ended today when he died. And so
Incoming,
I
bitches.
feel like there's going to be quite a few things coming out very quickly, which, my gosh, when some of these motherfuckers die, oh my God. And I'm going to have to be like, told you, I told you. And they're going to be like, yeah, whatever. No, you didn't. And I'm going to be like,
Was Clive Davis, did he have any power over Justin Bieber? I guess we're fixing to find out.
poor Justin.
How old was
Yes.
how old is Mariah?
Oh, yeah, and Mariah, I was thinking about that because Mariah is like symbol through the years, and of course I'm old enough to remember when Mariah first came out. It was her thing was the butterfly, because she got set free from Tommy Mottola and finally got to do her own thing, and it just made me wonder about this butterfly imagery that we're hearing about.
Well, and Tina,
You guys,
I watched it.
The little blue butterfly thing. Okay, what did you learn?
Okay, well, I want to really give props to Megan J. I'm going to tag her down below, but she has done multiple deep dives, and I mean, she is the best little puller there. She is Becca style, and they just go on different rabbit holes, so it's very nice because you get a very thorough. Yeah, and wait, I don't even remember which one is that.
Whose post is that, Tony?
But yeah, no. So basically, through these deep dives that she's done, it could be a psyop. Essentially, it is a psyop, is what it's looking like. And I mean, even down to the emoticon in our iPhones, like
I would
very
really like
specific.
to have her on to talk to her. That would be a fascinating conversation.
I connected with her recently, so she'll send me a message every day or every couple days. So I'll ask her if she wants to come on.
I would love that. I would just love to hear how she got into all this and how, like, what her process is. Because that's always, and with Becca Day too, it's fascinating to me how, because my brain, I would get so overwhelmed with every single side quest that I would never get anything done. But they managed to stay on target. It's amazing.
I read Rebecca's stuff and I'm like, I don't even know how the hell she does it. And in my stuff, I'm, one of my challenges in all of this is the format I'm posting in. And Twitter is the most comfortable zone for me, But she is amazing on Substack. She's amazing on TikTok. And even, Megan J is also amazing in terms of ability to dive as far down as they do in things. And
do you guys have her TikTok handle handy for folks?
TikTok Tony's on it.
TikTok. The most unique. Let's see. Oh, Becca's posted something there. Hold on.
Okay.
Becca's talking about Peter Thiel. And then she's talking about...
We haven't even talked about the Dialog group.
Yeah.
Gosh, we haven't.
I know, and I, again, found emails of Epstein talking about the Dialog group going back to 2012. Hold on,
well, that could segue into Cory Booker.
Oh, yeah. So in a nutshell, I feel like Cory Booker, we'll make sure we shout out Megan J.
Yes, I got it.
But, you do, what is it?
It's NerdyPinkPanda 1. At NerdyPinkPanda 1.
And it says Megan J, right?
J Megan is the name.
J Megan, sorry.
And then it says NerdyPinkPanda 1 is her @.
Okay. So check it out. She's informative at minimum. So Cory Booker, and this, I feel like this is the type of thing that if you're that gray area person in the middle that we were talking about, that's not MAGA and they're not like us, but they just don't pay attention and they don't really care because they're going through life that it's not affecting their daily life in their observation. And so when we talk about things like we're about to talk about, I could see how they would say, see, what difference does it make who I vote for? They're all shady. And you know what? That person might be right. But we have to change that. We have to make it so, once again, people are representing us, not other entities. So my concern about Cory Booker is it's looking like, you know, one, he's like BFF with the Kushners since college, which is, you know, that's a relationship that's troublesome to me. And two, as far as I can tell, he has a very strong representation for AIPAC. Like, they're big donors for him. He's not alone. Lots of people do. Most people do. But, like, this is somebody that we thought had potential, even, like, presidential potential
He held
at one
his
point.
piss for, like, 23 hours for this.
Yeah, like, how can you have that such a dichotomy of allegiance, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I don't know him that well, but it's concerning.
The first time Cory Booker came on my radar as maybe not who we thought they were is when I started looking into Sergio Gore or Sergei Gorchovsky or whatever his name.
Okay, so tell us again who that dude is.
He was
in the
White House personnel director at the beginning of Trump's second term.
Oh, that's right. He was real young, right?
That he actually did not.
He was background check.
Yeah, he was in charge of doing all the vetting and background of all the people coming into the administration. Although he had not been. His origin story initially was that he was born and raised in Malta, and Malta is a whole other situation that I'm still waiting for the right thing to come on my radar to be able to do that deep dive. But there's a handful of nefarious people that are tied directly to Malta, and it's
interesting.
But Sergio Gore is one of them. Another one is Gorka. I think
Sebastian Gorka.
He has a tie to Malta too, but he still has nefarious shitty ties anyway, regardless. Right. It's Malta.
That reminds me of the Knights of Malta.
Joseph Mifsud also is very tied to Malta.
Oh, yeah.
I talked a lot about Joseph Mifsud on my writing. But, so Sergio Gore, it was found that he was actually Russian-born. Mm-hmm. He had,
working in the White House.
His name, and he was working in the White House. And once it was revealed, they quietly pushed him into an ambassadorship of India. So he's of India now. I've shared a picture of him with Paulo Zampoli, and as far as I'm concerned, although Amanda says, Paulo's main talent was running up to people and taking selfies and then writing long stories about actually doing business deals with
Sophie bombing people.
Yes.
Selfie bombing.
But what I found about Booker is when I was looking at Sergio Gore's Instagram feed, and as I do, I go back to the very beginning of their Instagram feed, the genesis of it, and one of the first things I found was a picture of that he had posted of Cory Booker with
Cory Booker,
and I think it's also who's the other person, Ari Melber, the journalist. So I was like, well, why is Sergio Gore posting a picture of Cory Booker, and Booker looks real comfortable and happy. Then I found another picture that he posted, Sergio Gore posted, and this is in 2016. So July of 2016 was prior to, the first picture with Rand Paul was July of 2014. Okay, so long before even Trump was even a whisper about it.
Right, he hadn't even come down the escalator yet.
Yes. And then the next picture I found was a picture of, in July of 2016, prior to Donald Trump's election with Melania, and they're all chummy, sitting. It's hard to, I'm sorry.
Can't see. It's okay.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they're besties.
And I'm like, why is Sergio Gore posting a picture in 2016 of Cory Booker with Melania and Donald acting like they're besties?
Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you guys my theory here. So when these guys they're like groomed for these positions, and they go through these prestigious colleges and get inducted into these fucking secret societies and these groups, and then they're like, okay, you can be a Democrat, you can be a Republican,
but
this is what you're gonna do.
Well,
yes,
let me
you're
add
sorted into the house of MAGA.
Well,
Man, I wanted the Democrats.
one more thing that I'll add is
Puff.
in looking at Sergio Gore's Facebook or Instagram feed, I found a picture he had posted also from 2014 at the Young America Foundation,
America.
Young Americans Foundation, and it's a highly conservative group. And he's pictured in 2014, 12 years ago, with Benny Johnson, who's a prolific online personality who totes Russian narratives all the time and is known.
Yeah, he was making like $100,000 a pop, and I
And
gotta pay.
so the Young Americans Foundation also currently, when I last checked Wikipedia, the president of that is it Scott Perry? I think. No, the Wisconsin guy, that
Rick
ran-
Scott?
Rick
No,
Scott.
that's Florida guy,
That's
right?
Florida.
No, yeah, Rick Scott. He's in Wisconsin. He ran for presidency in 2014 or 2016 as well, and he was friends with Maria Butina, which I've written extensively about the Russian.
Yeah.
I see you rolling your head,
The
Lisa.
Devil's Mermaid.
And Maria Butina, and he's the president of the Young Americans Foundation, which had Sergio Gore and Benny Johnson in it in 2014. So again, this shows a coordinated effort of things that people have no idea about.
Well, I mean,
Just
I take some of those old photos with a grain of salt because it's true that a person can be somewhere and get photographed with somebody and not be in cahoots with them or nefarious intent, but
then
it's
you
just a piece
add
of the
in.
bigger puzzle, I guess.
Yes, you add in the money, the donations, the lobbying, and all of the
one thing to counter
relationships.
that argument. There is the very first picture Paulo Zampoli ever posted on any social media was a picture of him with Bibi Netanyahu.
Yeah.
And this was in 2014. And subsequently, he has posted multiple pictures with Bibi, but
I'm sure.
the whole context of things
BB.
is a whole.
God, I can't believe his name is fucking
Wasn't he
BB.
supposed to get convicted again or something? I thought something like that was going on.
Yeah, I've lost track of all the criming, honestly. There's too much
There's
of
a
it.
lot. There's a lot. Like, honestly, when I talked about the plane earlier, I totally forgot about the fucking plane. That was $1 billion.
It was.
There's
again,
been UFC fights. I don't
That
know.
just brings us back to how it's all a grift of some kind or another. That's the whole point.
Like and we're gonna go full circle with this episode here.
Okay.
The reflecting pond.
The reflecting.
What
pond.
if
God, look
that
at
is a
these-
it's a fucking money laundering here. Like, they're getting government contracts for literally fucking something up.
Well, the Batman villain who owned that company that had the no bid contract. It's
Just look at the photo of him.
Yeah, it's really true. With a cigar in his mouth and his very,
It's all so I can't even
suspect.
believe it.
what do you call it, toupee.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which, every day it's some new
the
grift. It's
ugliest men. The
and
ugliest
just today in the
men.
news, they're talking about how, the government purchased at over market prices all this real estate and buildings to use for ice facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're unloading them, they're selling them at much less than what they paid, which makes it you wonder if it's either they're either idiots or they're assassins, in that either they're idiots and paid too much and now they're unloading it to get rid of it, or
No.
they bought it high and now they're selling it low and their buddies are getting a good deal on a piece of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
One or the other.
And they're getting a cut every
Yes.
time.
Well, somebody
The loss,
probably.
always projection. 10%.
Yeah, I mean, and that's our
And
tax
people
dollar.
are like, "Oh, we're saving money."
Yeah, but he's not taking a salary. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
If I ever hear
okay.
that, I can't speak to the person that said it anymore.
Well, I saw a recent
Oh,
video.
Lisa's
They're dead to
cutting
me.
you off, guys.
They're dead to
Lisa's
me.
cutting you off.
Yeah, that's happened a lot in my life, and I'm not sorry.
Has
Well,
it?
it's really up to us. I keep saying. I mean, we're doing, getting people to pay attention. I mean, I don't know what to do any more differently than what we're already doing.
But the synchronicities, I know, sounds crazy, but a lot of things keep falling into place, and that shows that we're on the right path, okay? And I feel crazy right now. I do. Like,
Randy,
but
about the Schumer residence. Are you feeling the Schumer
the
residence?
Schumann. Yeah, did you celebrate the summer solstice?
No.
I did. Shit.
It was
Well,
called.
I did. Uh, I went outside and my candle burning, but I didn't feel better after, so I must have not done the right witchcraft.
Maybe next time.
I have cousins
Maybe
that,
next time.
which
Well, they need to be doing some fucking spells, okay? I have some. Well, on that note,
someday I'll talk about Zampoli's demons. But anyway,
all right.
I kind of forgot about that.
oh,
So
it's live. Awesome.
for people that are on Facebook, or I'm sorry, YouTube, I'm sorry if you had to witness me knitting this sock.
It's a good skill to have.
I mean, it keeps my hands busy.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop off here, but
Okay.
I will talk to you guys later.
All right. Everybody
Have a good
take care.
night.
We'll be back with you soon. Thanks for listening to While We Still Can Pod.
Bye.
Bye.